Hello and welcome to Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. This is our bonus video for the month of September, where we review a movie that is chosen by you, the listeners, based on votes on our Facebook poll. On this episode, we are reviewing An American Tail, the 1986 classic directed by Don Bluth. And if you are enjoying these videos, please do click on that subscribe button. That way you will be notified with each new episode. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering An American Tail. This movie was released on November 21st, 1986, and it was directed by Don Bluth. The screenplay was by David Kushner and Tony Geese, with production companies being Amblin Entertainment and Sullivan Bluth Studios. The film was distributed by Universal Pictures. The budget for this movie was $9 million, with a box office return of $104.5 million. So first, let's take a look at the development. Production of this movie began in 1984 when Bluth, Steven Spielberg, and Universal announced a collaboration based on a concept by David Kushner. Originally, the idea was to create a TV special, but Spielberg was able to recognize the potential of a feature film. Spielberg, however, took mostly an advisory role, with Bluth handling most of the creative decisions. Originally, the concept was going to be that the whole world was a world of animals with no humans, but Bluth suggested, based on the success of The Secret of Nim and The Rescuers, that it would be a better fit if it was a mix of humans and animals. In designing the character, Bluth did consult with Spielberg and Sears, the department store, who had a major marketing push on the design of the characters. Bluth decided to design the characters more stylish as opposed to the angular Disney style. And during production, Amblin and Universal expected to see all dailies and approve all major work on the film based on the huge investment they had in the film. Also, various outside parties requested numerous changes, and this included Spielberg, Sears, and Universal. Bluth feeling overwhelmed and that he was losing control of the production process, with a lot of the process being slowed down to a crawl. This included the slower than expected cell painting in the animation studio located in Ireland and a low footage output by the animators. Scenes were being dropped to save money and keep production costs down, while shorter scenes were being rushed into development to deliver key plot points and to keep the story to make sense. This caused the story at times to appear jumbled, with the plot points being confusing. The production was also plagued by union problems, as Bluth agreed to produce the film for $6.5 million, later $9 million, while Disney was averaging a movie for $12 million. This caused salaries for animation employees to be frozen for a year and a half, and the new Sullivan Bluth Studios created An American Tail was all non-union. Many of the loyal employees withdrew from the union to join Bluth in this new studio project, and this sparked a battle between Bluth and the union that plagued production. Bluth, feeling the pressure of the union, would relocate the studio to Ireland, where Bluth felt it was a more supportive environment. Disney, feeling that this was a serious threat, pushed their own mouse-related story into production called The Great Mouse Detective, and was determined to make Bluth look foolish. So let's take a look at the cast. So we have Philip Glacier, who plays Fievel Mouskowitz, John Finnegan, who plays Warren T. Rat, Amy Green, who plays Tanya Mouskowitz, Nahaima Persoff, who plays Papa Mouskowitz, Erica Yan, who plays Mama Mouskowitz, Pat Mushnick, who plays Tony Toponi, Dom DeLuise, who does the voice of Tiger, Christopher Plummer, who does the voice of Henry Le Pigeon, Madeline Kahn, who plays Gussie Muschenheimer, and Neil Ross, who does the voice of Honest John. So now that we know the cast, let's take a look at the plot. So Fievel is a young Russian mouse separated from his parents on the way to America, a land that they think is without cats. When he arrives alone in the new world, he keeps up hope, searching for his family, making new friends, and running and dodging the cats he had thought he was rid of. So this movie was very successful. This was the first time that an animated movie from another studio grossed more than a Disney animated feature, and both this movie and The Great Mouse Detective were released within weeks of each other. The song Somewhere Out There was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Song, but unfortunately it lost to Take My Breath Away from Top Gun. This movie did spawn a theme park attraction in Universal Orlando and Florida. It was a Fievel themed playground, and the playground featured water slides, oversized props from the movie, and it featured slides and cargo net play areas. The playground was originally accompanied by a live stage show retelling the movie that took place in the American Tail Theater. The show featured a retelling of the movie with songs being sung by the performers. The show ran from 1990 to 1997, and in Orlando, the playground is still there in the Woody Woodpecker Kid area. However, in Hollywood, the space was replaced by the Despicable Me Minions Mayhem attraction. There are several sequels to An American Tail, but none of these involve Don Bluth. An American Tail, Fievel Goes West, An American Tail, Treasure of Manhattan Island, and An American Tail, The Mystery of the Midnight Monster were all video sequels. The later two, Manhattan Island and Midnight Monster, were direct-to-video sequels. CBS, trying to capitalize on the popularity, also produced a Saturday morning kids series called Fievel's American Tales, which ran for 13 episodes. Better Late Than Never, a video game, was based on the movie, released in 2007 in Europe for the PlayStation 2. And finally, Fievel is the mascot for Amblin Entertainment in England, and in March of 2000, he would become the official children's spokesperson for UNICEF. So would I recommend this movie? I think this is an animated classic with a wonderful story. I think the story is very clever. I also think the story moves at a great pace to keep the audience from getting restless. Especially when you're dealing with kind of like old world history, it can get quite slow, but this one moves at quite a nice pace. I liked the combination of the different scenes. So you had action scenes, comedy scenes, and heartfelt scenes, and I think each had a right mix of all three of them. I think this movie was a bit of a wake-up call to Disney to start making better animated films with better stories and character development. If you look back in the history, this was a few years before Disney released The Little Mermaid, which kicked off the animation renaissance of the 90s. And I personally think if this threat had not come at Disney, they may not have been inspired to increase their quality of their films by creating The Little Mermaid, and then we would not have gotten so many great films. In terms of criticism, I think this movie should have ended with the defeat of the cats going to Hong Kong. I think the scene of them still trying to find Fievel at the end of the movie, it feels a bit tacked on, and it kind of feels like, okay, let's just end the movie already. That's a minor criticism, though. I also think the movie might have been better with a singing voice for Fievel. The song Somewhere Out There loses a bit of emotional connection when the voice of Fievel cracks because it's a child trying to do its best, and it is also off-key. But overall, definitely recommend this movie if you have not seen it. So thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigation. Please leave a comment below on what you think of American Tail. Does the movie hold up after all these years? So for the month of October, for our bonus bowl, we are going to be looking at those favorite Halloween movies we remember as a kid. So please head over to our Facebook page and vote for one of the following. So we have Casper, Ernest Scared Stupid, The Addams Family, Beetlejuice, and Coraline. And for our next episode, we are going to be doing a special episode as we look at the documentary features that were released on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 on Disney+. So there's going to be about 4 or 5 of these that we're going to take a look at, and just basically doing a summary of each one. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.